The industry truth that will look ridiculous 5 years from now is how dependent on AC we are.
I totally agree.
We need t-shirts. Edison was right.
Exactly. Hi, I'm Charlotta. I'm the founder of Blixt, and Blixt is the creator of Programmable Power. So in essence, we are taking the analog, old, dated, grade infrastructure into a real-time dynamic network. And to do that, we need both hardware and software. So we started with the world's first solid-state switchgear and moving on to voltage conversion technology.
And I'm James McGinniss. I'm the founder of David Energy. We're a technology-driven electricity retailer.
Super cool.
Nice. We got it.
The previous startup was within smart home applications, so connecting like Nest, but in the very, very early days. And realized we cannot just connect the heat source, we need to connect, everything. And that was more from a residential point of view. And the only logic way to connect everything is to go into the power lines. So that was really a mind-blowing realization when we took out an old circuit breaker and saw, well, this is mechanics. How on earth are we going to speak to it and connect it and control it? So that led to the ideas of making programmable power and more digital devices. Yes, I'm curious about the name, David Energy.
David Energy.
And you're James, and your company's
James,
name
I'm not David. That's right. David Energy comes from David and Goliath. Really, for me, it comes from the statue of David, in Florence, because I think it's a symbol of the individual, and I think individuals being able to build solar batteries, all sorts of distributed energy on their homes and buildings means they're participants in the grid in ways they never have been before. So they're the Davids of the world, and utilities or energy incumbents that don't want them to have their own power plants because they own all the power plants are the Goliath. So we help the Davids against the Goliath energy companies.
It resonates with our thinking as well. So we are the underdog trying to disrupt, the grid.
I have one. I don't know if you're going to agree with this one, though. The industry truth is that nuclear is important and is going to play a big role over the next 10, 20, 30 years, and I don't think that's true.
It's too expensive. I mean, it's so large investment. I think it's solving the wrong problem, because the only reason why we cannot add as much renewables is because of the grid cannot cope with the volatility. Yeah. So if we can solve that issue, we can go full renewable.
That's right. I was worried you wouldn't agree with me, but yeah, solar, storage, programmable power, it's going to be radically cheaper than anything anyone can imagine right now, and it's going to dwarf everything in 10 years.
I think this is quite funny. Could you ask me this one?
Name the weirdest metric on your dashboard that outsiders wouldn't recognize.
Oh, it's a number, and it's based on the first installation in our office connected to the coffee machine. So we could with our solid-state switchgear, we see how many coffee cups are drunk every day, and we could also do the fingerprinting to see if it's a cappuccino or a regular coffee, so we can have an idea about who is in the office.
So you track how many cups of coffee your employees drink?
Yes, but it's not for the purpose of checking if people are in the office or drinking coffee. It was just to prove the technology is working.
It was powered by...
Exactly.
Yes.
So a solid-state powered coffee machine. I so much loved your DIR task force initiative. And first of all, how do you have the time to build this, all the events and the demo day, the podcast, and I just love it. And after being on that podcast, we get a lot of reach out, both investor reach outs, customer reach outs. So you have a good spread. So I much admire that you have this true passion about what you're doing, not just David Energy, but in general trying to push the society for distributed energy. So I love that about you.
Well, yeah, I just really admire what you're doing.
I
think it's I spend a lot of time in the space, to your point, and I think it's one of, if not the most transformative idea in the space right now, is actually making the grid programmable. So.
And after this, I'm going for teleportation.
Okay, perfect.
It is.